she was found cut in half, face down on a patch of empty land. Her body had been drained of blood, and her mouth was carved into a horrifying smile. This is the story of the most infamous unsolved murder in Los Angeles, the Black Dahlia. The 15th of January, 1947. A quiet neighborhood in South Los Angeles. A mother walks with her child through Limert Park when she sees something that will shock the entire nation. There, lying on a patch of grass, is the naked and mutilated body of a young woman. Her torso has been sliced cleanly in two. Her body is pale, drained of blood. And worst of all, her lips have been slashed from ear to ear, leaving behind what would become known as the Glasgow Smile. This wasn't just a murder, it was a message, a warning, and over 75 years later, we still don't know who did it. Welcome to the dark mystery of Elizabeth Short, better known today as the Black Dahlia. Elizabeth Short was born on the 29th of July, 1924, in Boston, Massachusetts. She was the third of 5 daughters in a family marked by poverty and instability. Her father, Phoebe Short, abandoned the family when Elizabeth was just 8 years old. As a teenager, she moved frequently between relatives and even spent time in foster care. Despite this difficult upbringing, she was described by friends as charming, intelligent, and always stylish. In 1946, at age 22, Elizabeth arrived in California with big dreams. Some say she wanted to be an actress. Others believe she was simply looking for a fresh start. Whatever the reason, she moved around Los Angeles, staying with friends, roommates, and acquaintances. She worked odd jobs, sometimes as a waitress, sometimes modeling for photography classes. She was known for wearing black clothes, which earned her the nickname Black Dahlia among her circle. But tragically, that name would soon be splashed across every newspaper in America. Her last known sighting was the 9th of January, 1947. She was seen at the Florence Cafe in Long Beach, talking to a man described as tall, clean-cut, and well-dressed. Then, she vanished without a trace. 6 days after Elizabeth disappeared, her body was discovered in broad daylight, dumped in an open field in Limert Park, Los Angeles. It was a shocking sight. Her body was completely naked, bisected at the waist, and drained of blood. Her face bore the brutal Glasgow smile, a surgical-like incision stretching from both corners of her mouth up toward her ears. Despite being left in public view, her body was washed clean, almost ritualistically prepared for display. Her hands were positioned neatly beside her, and her legs were placed together upright. Whoever killed Elizabeth Short didn't just want to kill her. They wanted to send a message. They wanted people to see her and remember her. Police quickly realized this was no ordinary murder. There were no signs of struggle, no fingerprints, no identification on the body. Just a young woman whose life had been violently taken and turned into a spectacle. And then came the media frenzy. Newspapers dubbed her the Black Dahlia, and headlines screamed about the gruesome details. Public fear grew. Everyone wanted answers, but none were coming anytime soon. Detectives launched one of the largest investigations in Los Angeles history. Over 200 people confessed to the crime, but none could provide evidence that matched the facts. They interviewed boyfriends, roommates, and strangers who claimed to have seen her before she vanished. Leads poured in from across the country. One man even sent a lock of hair he said belonged to the killer. One of the most suspicious figures was Dr. George Hodel. A prominent physician with ties to Hollywood elites, he was under police surveillance for weeks. Detectives believed he might have ties to other unsolved murders, but they couldn't prove anything. Another suspect was Steve Dean, a former boyfriend who had recently returned from the war. He acted strangely after Elizabeth's disappearance and even fled to Mexico for a short time. But again, there was no concrete evidence. Despite hundreds of interviews and thousands of leads, the case stalled. Witnesses gave conflicting stories, suspects disappeared, and the trail went cold. To this day, no one knows who dropped Elizabeth's body in that field or why. Over the decades, countless theories have emerged about who killed Elizabeth Short. Some are grounded in facts, others border on conspiracy. Some believe Dr. George Hodel was the killer. His son, Steve Hodel, even wrote a book accusing his father and claiming he had ties to other unsolved crimes. But while intriguing, these claims remain unproven. Others believe the killer was someone close to Elizabeth, perhaps a jealous lover or an acquaintance who snapped. There's also the theory that the Black Dahlia was a copycat killing inspired by the intense media coverage. After her death, several similar murders occurred, leading some to believe a serial killer was at work. In recent years, DNA testing has been done on evidence from the case. Unfortunately, nothing conclusive has come from it. The Black Dahlia remains a mystery one that haunts investigators, journalists, and true crime fans alike. So who really killed Elizabeth Short? We may never know, but that hasn't stopped people from trying to solve the puzzle. The Black Dahlia murder didn't just shock the public, it changed how we talk about crime forever. In 1987, author James Ellroy released his novel The Black Dahlia, fictionalizing the real-life events and turning them into a gripping noir thriller. In 2006, the book was adapted into a major motion picture starring Josh Hartnett and Scarlett Johansson. Documentaries, podcasts, and books continue to explore the case. True crime fans dissect every detail, hoping to uncover new clues or find closure. But beyond the entertainment value, the case raises deeper questions. Why do we obsess over violent deaths? What does it say about our fascination with tragedy? The Black Dahlia became more than just a victim. She became a symbol of mystery, of fear, of the unknown. And even now, decades later, her story continues to captivate us. Elizabeth Short was only 22 when her life was taken. She wasn't famous, she wasn't rich, but her brutal murder made her immortal. Despite decades of investigation, the Black Dahlia case remains officially unsolved. No one knows who killed her or why her body was displayed so publicly. Maybe you've heard this story before. Maybe this is your first time learning about it. Either way, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your theories in the comments below. Did a jealous lover do it? Was it a serial killer hiding in plain sight? Or is the truth something even darker? If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of the most haunting unsolved cases in American history, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss another episode. Next week, we'll be diving into another chilling mystery, the disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. So stay tuned, stay curious, and keep solving crimes with us. Until next time, goodbye and good night.